Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It is not the day for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I am way behind. Things have gotten crazy, and I'll tell you why really quickly. I've been doing a lot of cool stuff, and I think it's really cool. I've got a podcast going where I'm going to be interviewing people in the anime reaction space and maybe other spaces. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to limit it or restrict it. It's on the T Talks Too Much channel, and I think I'm going to call it T-Pod, like Teapot, but T-Pod. And my first episode just went up. It's like 2.5 hours of me talking from psychologists about the psychology, philosophy, and intrigue of reaction videos and also of anime itself. It was a fucking awesome discussion, and you should really go check it out if you're interested at all in the space, which you are because you're watching my reaction videos. So go and check them out. I talk a lot about what I think I'm doing, and we talk together a lot about what we think we're doing, and that was really, really cool, and I can't wait to get more people on the podcast and get more people talking about what it is that we're doing. So, go check that out. I've been in chaos because I'm trying a bunch of new things, and that's the nature of the beast. Let's get straight into it. First of all, the housekeeping thing that I want to mention is dub titles. I'm going to continue using dub titles because they make sense and they're useful for various reasons. I've been provided with the V2 or V3 dub titles that are actually supposed to be good, and these should actually be good, I hope. And so maybe it'll fix some of the things that we had in the last episode, which pissed some people off, and rightfully so. Last episode, in broad terms, ya boy got his Sandevistan implanted in himself. He said, I want this thing in me, and he got it. And his first action with his little taste of power was to take out his frustrations on the people who had been assholes to him, which is not terribly helpful. But it is very cathartic and very fun, and so he did it. And then he sees the girl across the train, a flash of hair, a bit of leg, a little more than a little bit of leg. I mean, she's, oh, wow, girl. But he sees the girl, and they do a sort of a flirting thing where they learn to live their weird stealing picksocket life together. They end up on an insane roller coaster of what I might call a first date, in a sort of a Bonnie and Clyde sense, as they literally roller coaster on a gurney their way down a crowded highway, which is rad. And that's kind of a sex scene and kind of not, and kind of an emotional literal roller coaster for our character, who's only there stuck with this beautiful woman that he just doesn't get at all and would love to. And that is resonant to me because that's how I feel about some of the beautiful women that I meet. It's like, wow, yeah, I'd love to know what the hell roller coaster ride she's on because it seems like fun. And she goes on to slowly allow him into what seem to be her private spaces. We get a lot of sexual imagery with the love hotel and the BD that's a condom and all of these things. And she tells him about her dreams and some of the weird fantasies that she lives in, and she lets him into those spaces. And it feels real, and it feels like trust, and it feels like potential, and it feels like a maybe that could turn into a yes, please. And it's revealed to all be a lie, top to bottom, as far as he can tell. And it's just a brutal betrayal there at the end, as he wakes up to find this group of teched out, cyber geeked monsters looking at him. Now, who will they be? They will be our squad members and our friends, I think. But how we're going to get there between, hey man, you got some tech and we're down to rip it out of your body because we don't really care about you. How we're going to get from there to friends working together for some purpose, I don't know. It probably has to do with that they won't be able to find anybody who's as resilient against the tech as he is. And maybe she'll step in, maybe Lucy might step in to help and prevent him from getting full killed. But I want to meet these characters. I want to figure out what they're all about individually and all together and as a squad and where we're going from here. Because we're on episode 3 and anime directors, especially one as well-versed as Amaishi is in figuring out what his audience is looking for, they know about the 3-episode rule. And so the 3rd episode should be a banger where we move from a confused state of not understanding where the story is necessarily heading towards something clicking together into a kind of a direction and a cast that we are going to have for the rest of the show. And so I'm really excited to watch that. Okay, there's our housekeeping. There are our recap elements. Now we can do comment spotlight. Yo, I'm editing and I've made a decision, which I can do because I have all the power as the editor. I am editing T and I am evil, and the evil me is I'm going to cut comment spotlight for this video for right now just to remove it out because it's the thing that takes the longest to edit. And so I'm going to remove it out and think about doing it later. But for now, I feel like the video will feel a lot cleaner if it's just intro, a bit of recap, some thoughts about where to go, and then straight into the next episode. And then discussion mostly of the next episode as well, with comment spotlight as like a separate thing. So I'll put like a comment spotlight on the Patreon, or comment spotlight in a separate video. I did comment spotlight in a separate video before, so I'll do that, but I might not be able to do it tonight because I'm exhausted. So that's the idea, is I'm gonna move comment spotlight out of this video and put it somewhere else for right now, and I promise I'll get it up somewhere, so keep an eye out for it. Hello. They left my boxes in the rain. Oh, fuck, my legs look awesome. Holy shit, dude. That's... I mean, that's what happens when you get strong. Okay. Oh, man. That was cold. Not only did I have to go and get the boxes that were left outside in the rain and bring them in and then put it all in the fridge, I had to take all the boxes and break them down and go out to the trash cans while in the cold pouring rain. Oh, jeez. Listen, I don't remember where I was at because I got interrupted, so I'm sorry for that. I'm sure I was on some discussion of the way forward or something like it. I think that's some interesting stuff, and I think it's relevant. I think it's all relevant. I really do, and I'll parse through it and I'll edit out anything that I don't think was relevant, just to save you time. But I think it's relevant to Edgerunners, and that's what we're here for. Is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And I want to watch episode 3. So let's move along toward doing exactly that. All right, let's go. I've got Cyberpunk Edgerunners episode 3 up and ready to go. I'm using the newly provided dub title that's supposed to be better than the other dub title. I hope that it's as good as I've been told that it is, and that we're totally going to be done with all the mistakes that happened in those subs. But we'll see. If you enjoyed this content, the before discussions, the after discussions, well, 2 things. 1, go check out the podcast channel where I'm doing T Talks Too Much and T-Pod, where I'm going to be talking to some interesting people in the reaction space and outside of it, but also I'm going to be doing the daily brews and lots of other forms of discussion and content, and that'll be my branching off point for all of it. Teeaboo is now a subcategory of T. I am T, and I am Teeaboo, but Teeaboo is a subcategory, and that doesn't mean that it's not important. It's still the main thing that I'm doing, but the umbrella that I've developed is T, and that's going to include T&D for my Dungeons & Dragons stuff, T fitness something, because I'm going to do a health and fitness thing. I'm in the space, and I'm learning a lot, and I want to share as much of it as I can, and gosh golly, some of the people who are anime obsessed could really use some help in the health and fitness space. I know that a lot of them don't want it, but a lot of people could really use it, and it really makes a huge difference in how you feel and exist in the world, and it's awesome. And I want to do T Talks Too Much as a silly podcast, or just me talking too much, because I have a tendency to do that. And so I want it to be tongue-in-cheek, that I'm like, I talk too much. It's definitely what I do. But I think that's the main criticism that anybody could and should levy at me. But I want to do all those different things. So go check out that channel. I'll link it in the description. And go ahead and head over to the Patreon and support all of the channels and my continued existence as a content creator by throwing me a couple of bucks. Those couple of bucks from you turn into a collective few bucks from a lot of people. And those collective few bucks from a lot of people let me do things like buy enough storage space and continue paying for the storage cloud providers that I pay for in order to have backed up and resilient copies of all the picture-in-picture versions of things, because we live in a scary world where content can become like a problem really fast. And the content that I make, I will stand by as legal and fair use, but other systems are not necessarily fair when it comes to that. And music distributors in particular and art distributors are really litigious sometimes, so it might get scary in the future. We'll see. In any case, please help support this channel. If you evaluate what I'm doing as having some kind of value, you can contribute to my continued pursuit of a way of being that seems to be ethical and worthwhile, and my continued attempts to convince other people to do something similar with their lives by contributing and putting your mouth where your money is and your money where your mouth is. Join the Patreon and get access to the Discord and the ability to vote on what I do. And I'll be doing more and more polls as we go along, and delegating and outsourcing some of the decision making that I make around some of the things that I do to the people that I've built a community of, which is really cool and really interesting that I'm even capable of doing that. It's fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Anyway, thank you so much for all of your support, and thanks for watching this long-ass video introduction. I was going to set a timer of like 20 minutes for the intro. Well, that didn't happen. So here we are an hour and a half in, and we move finally towards Cyberpunk Edgerunners Episode 3. We're about to meet some bad boys and girls, and of course they're actually going to become our friends, probably, so how that happens is the most interesting thing to me. And also picking out which one of them is probably Matt Mercer, because I'll bet that one of them is Matt Mercer. We'll see. In any case, I've got Cyberpunk Edgerunners Episode 3 up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture, available in the description for free as always. Timer-based version available up here for free as always. The full discussion, the full timer, always free, completely. Think about that. And early access up on the Patreon, so you can get the thing just a little bit faster if you throw me a few bucks. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get into it. Beep beep timer for Cyberpunk Episode 3. Okay, straight into the OP. Cool. I'll see if I noticed anything specifically different. I think I talked through the OP pretty well the first time. Yo, Yoshinari. Gotta love him on the character designs. People, city. City, people. Rad. It's crazy that they got Franz Ferdinand to do this. And Nemaishi himself animated this. Of course, Promare was also fire as a concept. Shattered and fractured. And he zooms. Bullet through the head. Which might be how he ends. Might be the way this story goes. Night City does have a habit of chewing people up and spitting them out. Ah. Oh, jeez. I don't think that'll work. Ah. Huh, there we are. Not looking, yeah. You're Chrome. By what right? Oh. Gonk move, idiot guy. Oh. Huh. So who's your mom? Shh, welcome to the city. Wow. Just totally upside down. So he's gonna put him down now? There you go. Okay. Cool. Ah, empathy. But not enough. Yeah. I don't know who that voice actor is. I don't think it's Mercer. I know he's in it. Oh, a word. He said the word. No, we're Edgerunners. Well. Fuck. God, girl. Okay. Let's make an exchange. He wants the stuff, not the stuff. You look like you're about to. Twice a day. What? He can't do it. There's no way. Uh-huh. And no drugs. Go steal his cigarette. Maybe not. Oh. Yeah, that was 2, you dumbass. You can't count. Yeah. Oh, and she's looking now. She's looking now. He showed his stuff and she looks. Girls! Yeah. Face, 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 face. Damn right. All right. Oh, we've done this before. Maybe. Whoa. But it's got more meaning to that. And she doesn't need to hug him like this. But it was still a betrayal. Did it leave them together? Yeah, good, good, good. So, hey, you betrayed me. Mm. Mm-hmm. There you go. Nope. Fuck. You can't just let it go. They will. Wow. Oh, there it is. Okay. But that's not empathy, that's sympathy. It doesn't work. But she actually does feel something. Same with the hug. Layers and layers of destroyed ability to connect with people, right? Move to the mom. Wow. It's also the first person who's... These are the first 2 people who've said anything in terms of comfort at all. Even though it's shitty. Even though it's just... Shit, man, that sucks. I actually like what the guy said better. Fuck you. Oh. Bullshit. Wow. Yeah, we can totally waive that. Nope. That is... Okay. It was restricted? Okay. Brrrt. Hold on. What was that transition? 7... Wipe. Dissolve. Session. That's the one in the mask? Ah. Fucking jerk. Man, I would not put computer tech in myself without thinking about it. Hi. Okay. Yeah, they'll know immediately. Cool. Cool. That's cool. David Goliath sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, that fight was not gonna go that well. Wow. Except we're gonna rig the fight. Uh-huh. Super mechanical, super punch. Oh! Damn! Gone and gone. Eh. We have our ways. Very Ocean's 11-y. Love it. Arr, ah. So we're already actually doing it as we're doing the show scene? Oh, it's so good. This is the way to do a heist movie. Good. Blast. Zip zap. Wow. Just the bit and piece. So what's gonna go wrong? Except... Fuck. Fuck. Oh. Oh. We haven't met her yet. Okay. Hi. Ooh, nice seat. Yeah, welcome to luxury. Whoa. Ooh. Yeah. The real deal. Firewalls instead of ice walls instead of firewalls. It's no problem. Go. Fuck. Uh-oh. Shooting his own limo. Oh shit, we're driving. You do now. Well. Into the deep end, man. Straight into the deep end. She's just sitting there. You asked. You asked to prove yourself. Jump into the unknown. Oh, what a great face. Go, motherfucker. Yeah, he's dead for this. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Is that Jacked and Coke? Oh, he's just firing the gun randomly. Amazing. Yeah! Terrifying. Keep going. No stops. It's in your hands. Ah, that is the difference, isn't it? Wow. Just immediately. Oh. Well, they're just fully speaking Japanese. That's so fun. Does the car fly? Can we get the fuck out of here? Can we do anything? What are you gonna do, David? Oh, shit. He's gonna get out and kill both of them? Sandevistan style? Oh my god. He's just gonna try to flatten them. Oh, he's gonna go forward! What? Sandevistan driving? I don't feel like that works. I guess it might. Very cool. So he's using it as time slow for driving ability? Yeah, he keeps doing it. Zip, zip, zip. That's so dangerous. So rad, though. Hey. I love these guys. They're the best. Oh, shit. Ugh. Oh, this poor limo. This poor car. What a nice vehicle. This is why you buy well-built vehicles. It's got 2 wheels in the front. That's weird. Sweet. Thanks, ma'am. The fuck? That guy survived? Alright, fun. Fight. Oh, classical. Intersecting lines. Doi! Gosh, she is just saving his ass over and over. Oh my god, it just slices! Oh, hi, main. That is a crazy boy. Just with the hand? Yeah. Oh my goodness. More claws, huh? Ho! 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 I mean, Berserk's got nothing on that. Holy shit. Guts 2.0. No, man, just in time. Just in the nick of time. What is that guy's arms? Immediately. What the fuck? Oh, it's him. Okay, right. You're in. He's gonna betray him eventually. You know. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Also hot. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you got the hands. Just impossible to read. Not sure if he's gonna murder you or... Might as well be money. Ah, money. Yeah, good money. Okay, so you come into a system that works. It's illegal and it's weird and it's wrong, but... Okay, you'll have to start altering yourself as well. Power, it's really... Yeah, but cyberpsychosis. Yeah. It's a temptation, too. Pay your crew well, and it will serve you well. Good idea. Who is this? Ah, it's that guy. Mercer? Are you Mercer? Whoa. 3 eyes. Hmm. They'll change now. 3 eyes. It's like Evangelion, man. And the asymmetry makes him really... Huh. Cogs in the machine. You don't need to understand your work. Crystal. The bright light comes in. So it's all sunshine and rainbows until you realize that there's a bigger boss. Explain Fixer. Of course. Got it. Everybody cycle. Everybody subjugating themselves to some other system. You just have to choose which system to subjugate to. True independence is hard to reach. Ooh. Now that is what makes it worthwhile, though. Don't. Do not walk away right. Oh, hi. Yes. Yeah. Who does she play in something else? It is carbonated. Was hers? I think hers might not have been. The fuck? Damn it. No! There's no good time. Fuck you, man. Yeah, fuck you. I don't care. He just needs to get closer to Tanaka, though. Fuck you! Ooh, big deep breath after that. Let's go, man. Oh, they're gone. So he expects that she went off with him. Nah, dude. Misread. You hate it, yep. Again, distracted by the girl, thinking about that instead of the thing. That's so great. And here comes the ED, which is going to be rough. By rough, I mean amazing. Empty spaces, back alleys, 3-dimensional, and then her. Cool episode. It's not going to be a lot to talk about, but there's plenty to talk about, but it's not going to be like a lot. Gosh, she's so sad and hot. Why? Why, show? Why you gotta make the girl so sad and so hot? She's so capable and yet needs saving in like a weird way, even though she can stand on her own. It's like, it's the perfect blend for the modern male's mind, I think. It's the perfect blend for me. It's like, oh, instant love. Overwhelming. And she's got, like, you know, the cigarettes are a bad habit that she's got that's clearly hurting her. So all these elements of her personality. And we so highly and deeply sexualize her, and yet it feels... I hate the word tasteful, but it feels organic at least. It feels real. I don't know how they did it. And the rocket in the background, I just saw. I hadn't seen that before. Looking up at the moon, with a city in between, walls, walls, walls. Hey, well, we did it. That was episode 3 of Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and pretty much exactly what I expected to go down went down, which is that we have to integrate with this group and figure out a way to. The way in which it went down is a little bit more curious than I expected. For example, the revelation that his mother was selling the Sandevistan to this group is very interesting, and that they trust Gloria means that she was more integrated than you'd think. Well, that makes sense, because corruption is everything in this world, and so if you don't make a bargain with the corruption and with the bribery and all that stuff, well, you're fucked. So we hold him upside down in an uncomfortable upside down world where he can't see, and we keep him there until the moment he manages to convince them that his mom is actually Gloria and there's something more here, which is awesome. He goes, "You fucking lied to me," and we turn over to her, and it's throughout this scene, and it's absolutely visually brutal. It's the dismissal, it's the looking away, the ignoring you. It's like you've already sold the person. You've already sold them out, and so you can't look at them. You're just doing I'm just doing what I have to do, and you're in that process of rationalization. It was necessary, but you can't look them in their eyes, and so it was wrong, and you know it. Ooh, it's good. Ooh, it's good. This is some groovy fucking shit right here. Yours. Yeah, his. And we get the banter between the characters, which is good. The banter between the characters is good. It establishes that there's a group dynamic here. Parts of the group dynamic actually remind me of the duos and dynamics that are present in Dorohedoro, because that's got some similar organizational structures of, like, weird, fucky people. But he tells them a story about his mom, and finally he makes this and he chooses to drop him and sit down and talk. Oh, things make sense now. That's why. And so he says, "Condolences, kid. That's tough, but still." That's the closest thing to any sort of empathy that we've gotten from any character at all whatsoever. So I watched a video the other day. It's short. It's got a lot of millions of views. Brene Brown on empathy. And it's a little short with an animation of a little fox and a little bear. And basically it just lays out the difference between empathy and sympathy. That empathy is bringing yourself down into the state of what the other person is feeling and feeling it with them and experiencing with them and going something along the lines of, I've been there too. I feel that. I feel what you're feeling. And from there, not trying to fix it necessarily, but just demonstrating that you understand. And that's it. Sympathy is looking down the pit and going, "Ooh, sure is dark and deep down in there. You sure look sad over there. Ooh, woohoo!" Well, at least you're not dead. You know, your mom's dead, but at least you're not. So look at the silver lining. Come on, get on up. Just get your head out of the sand and everything will be fine. Just stop feeling the feelings that you're feeling, because I don't want to get the emotional valence and the gravitational pull of your negative emotions. That's hurting me, so fuck off with that, basically. But I'm sorry for your loss, right? Sure is shitty for you. Glad I'm not having to deal with that. Woo! That's sympathy and pity. So what we get is something in between from Maine, but it's close, and it's the best that we've gotten from anybody at all. Because all we've had are impersonal systems. So it's something. It's something. So you guys are cyberpunks, aren't you? He said the words, yeah. And she starts glancing. So when does she start glancing? It's when he starts making a deal, right? He starts going, all right, I'm figuring out where you're coming from. You're figuring out where I'm coming from. What if we do things this way? And she side-eyes him like, okay, what are you going to do, kid? What are you going to do? She's no longer looking away. Because she gave up on him, right? As soon as she delivered him into Maine's hand, she's like, this kid's dead. she might feel things for him, but she can't feel things for him because she's got to survive, and that's the dog-eat-dog harshness of the world. You got to cut off your empathy completely. But as soon as he starts making a path for himself, a potential solution, she's interested. She'd like him to not die. Because I think she actually likes him, right? There's a reason that she let him into her secret places. And so she looks. She also looks so hot here. Oof. Woof. Let me keep it. I'll pay it back. And they go, no chance. Not at all. And she, no deal. We can just get it out. And she puts that in. And it's not a word in his favor, but it prevents them from killing him, right? No killing the kid. She puts a boundary on it. I just don't want him to see him die. Not in my house. Come on, guys. For selfish reasons. I just don't want blood on the carpet. Has nothing to do. I've got no attachment to the kid. It's not like I want him to live or anything. Baka. It's not like I like him or anything. Baka. But that's exactly what's going on here. And it's being told in such a subtle and beautiful way in the expressions of the characters and the way that they look at each other or don't. As opposed to the way that most anime tell that story, which is literally, it's not like I want to fuck you or anything, baka. I just, you know. But she's looking at him and evaluating him. And they go, bullshit, you can't do it. And she steps in and he goes, no, I've seen him do it. The kid's got some spark. Kid's got something to him. They go, what? Crazy. So he proves it, and of course all the guns come out. Yoink, yoink. I like the style of this. Yeah, the layers up top and the flow. Whoa! He's actually just dying, bleeding out. And so we come up again, and his nose is bleeding, and he's wiping away, right? The wiping away blood from your nose is like you get punched in the face and you get back up, right? It's like you're ready to go. You're still in it. You're still fighting, right? He's not giving up. He doesn't just lay down and go, oh no, I guess I got taken by cyberpunks. They're gonna murder me. And she's watching him now. When she wasn't before. Potential lesson. I don't know if it's true, but it seems to be true. If you want women to respect you, start standing up for yourself. Not toward women or against women or whatever, just in general. They might notice. I don't know. If you want people to respect you, maybe even. Let's expand it even broader, because fucking who cares if it's women? If you want people to respect you, start standing up for yourself. I don't think there's a faster way to get somebody to disrespect you than just acquiescing to all their requests. Because when you do that, they start taking advantage of you in every possible way. It takes a very strong person to avoid taking advantage of someone when they're being too weak or too agreeable. Stand up for yourself. Integrate with your shadow and your ability to cause harm. Because if you can't cause harm, you can't bargain with reality. And that's what David is doing here. He is bargaining with reality. Maine and these people go, we are a real element of the corruption of this world, and we want your spine. We want it bad. And he goes, hold on, boys. Hold on a second. I've got some power and some threateningness, and I'm willing to use it to help you, and we can bargain this out so that we don't have to murder each other, because it might not go as well for you as you think, which is interesting. It actually might not. He's wearing military-grade tech. Now, I get the impression that Maine is kitted out, right? But Maine wanted this tech, too. But he's also a dumb kid. Maybe we could do this in a way that none of us die. That could be good. Let's bargain. And he does that from a position of, look what I can do. I am capable. Treat me with some respect. And he stands up for himself. And he gets some respect. He gets a chance. Easy. You take me out on a job. Okay, he thinks about it. And we go classic trigger face to face, forehead to forehead, furrow to furrow, right? Furrowed brow to furrowed brow. And evaluating behind glasses is Gainax to the core. It's Gendo. Gendo is constantly doing this. He's the evaluative, authoritarian, patriarchal father. Is Gendo for Shinji, and he's constantly looking from behind glasses because you can't tell what he's actually thinking. There's always a barrier between you and him, and there's a barrier here, but we get closer and closer and closer and closer. And she's watching and watching. And finally he gets up and says exactly that. Takes some stones to stand up for yourself against a group of murderous cyberpunks. All right, kid. Let's see what you really got. we'll go for a job. And of course, the job that they go on is supposed to be simple, but nothing of the sort. I want to talk about this moment. I owe it to Gloria, and maybe the apple don't fall far, And as he's saying you won't regret it, she, with eyes closed, ... And the way we do this embrace is a glomp. It's the same kind of embrace as if he were like sentenced to die, and he just argued his way out of sentencing to die, and she wasn't aware before that moment that she was interested in him, and now she is, and she runs up to him and is like, "Oh my God, thank God you're safe." But of course, none of that is said. It's all subtlety, and all of it is hidden under the guise of putting the chip in. But she doesn't have to hug him and pull him in close in order to put the chip in, just like she didn't have to push him up against the wall in the train car. Now, she did that in that case because it was sexy and rough, but she does it in this case because she wants to hug him. I can't read it otherwise. And it's really cute. And we get this moment here. Her eyes are lighting up, and yes, she's doing the other thing. But she's buried her head into his neck, you know? This is a romantic gesture, not a cyber gesture. At least to our visualization and to what we see in the patterns of it. That's something that lovers do. All right, be hearing from me tomorrow, and we get this moment where they don't look at each other, and he is betrayed. And she betrayed him, so I get it. And you didn't tell me? And she says that she wasn't going to start it from the start, but then she figured it out and had to do it. Then thought you'd bat your eyes at me till they showed. And his call out is correct, right? And she knows it. She does a couple of deflections, a couple of defenses, but then she kind of just lets it slide. Because she was lying the whole time. And so she says, just go home already, because there's no fixing it here. And he says, yeah. And he walks away. And a gulf is created between them. She regrets it, I think. But more than that, I think she believes that she didn't have a choice, right? Because the system is so corrupt that there's no fighting against it. And so the only thing that you can do in a system that corrupt is to lean into the corruption and exploit as much as you can in order to prevent yourself from being exploited. But that's not it. You can break the cycle and step out. And it starts with the individual. So he leaves, and she says, about your mom, sorry for your loss. My condolences, which isn't... It's not much. It's not the best way to handle this. It's not highly empathetic. But in a world with no connection, it's an attempt, and that attempt means a lot. It means a lot more than no attempt. So that's pretty darn cool. And we hold with her for a moment as she lets her cigarette burn down and feels something. And because we can't see her eyes or her face, we don't know what it is she's feeling. Just no idea. But it's something. And so he sits, having changed his own life, across from the representation of his dead mother. And to my mind, he wonders if what he's doing is in any way anything. The principal call is hilarious, and he, of course, wipes it away. This is what they talked about trying to exploit him and trying to bring him in because he's got something special about him. Oh, they've done a magical thing, and it's just they're going to give you an opportunity. Look at that. Okay, I want to just see how this transition works. I think it's just Digispace. That's rad. That's just really cool looking. All right, here we are. Here we go, and we start setting out the plan. Okay, I love heist films. I love them a lot. I love the Ocean series and all that jazz. I think that one of the best tropes in heist films is the explanation of the heist, the planning phase, and then you're watching as the heist actually achieves itself while they're doing the planning phase. And then they get to a point and they're like, and then this will happen, and then something goes wrong in the heist, and we switch over to direct point of view timeline, right? And they do exactly that here. We get the fight, the rig, the piss the guy off, get him drunk, steal the thing, switch the thing, move the thing. Good. Uh-oh. Problem. Called by the boss. So it is actually the the corruption and dehumanization and the willingness to call people while they're off of work that foils their plans. It's the evil of these individuals and their corporate overlords that foils their plans, which is quite funny, I think. That's something that's, okay, so I'll just say this. In the United States, it's perfectly legal and reasonable for an employer to call you off of work hours, and they can call you in on a day, and they can fire you if you don't show up. That is not the case everywhere. France did a bunch of studies on it because they were figuring out how to make people less depressed, mostly, and how to make work more productive. And what they came to as a conclusion was simply put a right that workers have to not be called or contacted outside of their working hours at all, ever. It's legal to contact your workers outside of working hours, but to in any way demand that they respond or act when you contact them is illegal. So if you're outside of work and your boss says, hey, you need to come in and blah, 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 and pick up a shift, you can say, fuck you, dude. No. Now, you shouldn't say fuck you, dude, but you can say no, and they cannot do anything to you. And that's a really important protection, I think. And we're nowhere near it. But that's the kind of thing that happens to this guy, and so, well, that fucks up all our problems. So we made this character. It's really interesting that we meet her from basically a panty shot. Like, that's what we do here, is she's wearing the shortest shorts or showing ass and crotch, right? And then she's tiny and child-esque. I would guess that this character is in no way a child, given that this is a cyber world, and she seems very cybered up compared to some of the other people. But she seems to be interested in this particular act of being the innocent child who's hypersexualizing herself, and I don't know what's up with that. So I can't wait to see more of this character and to investigate where she's coming from with all of these traits that we see in her. Because I don't know. Is she just obsessed with, in the Japanese way, with cuteness and moe? That seems like it might be a path to take with this character, but I really don't know what to think of her yet. She seems, well, first off, very sexual and willing to be funny about it, but also really interested in people looking at her. She reminds me of Nonon. That's it. She reminds me of Nonon. Childish to an extreme, focused on like art or performance in some way as opposed to reality, and I'm curious as to what's going on there, but I don't think we have enough information to know. Loved the design of the big old car thing. You get in, and together they get into this vehicle, and he steps in, and it's like a taste of luxury. Whoa. Wow. And it's totally, all the color scheme is totally distinct from everything in the city. Completely different. And everything is totally different. And he watches her work, and then things go awful, and we get into some insanity, and I love these screens and things. It's very Ava, it's very, it's very cool is what it is. And, oh no, it's all locked up. Oh shit, oh fuck, oh god. And so we gotta drive, and so he begins to drive. And what is it? Show me that you've got what it takes. Jump into the deep end. I don't know how to drive. Deal. Figure it out. I don't know how to run my own business. Deal. Figure it out. Might change your life. I don't know how to upload a YouTube video. A few years ago, I didn't even think that I could. I didn't know if I could make a YouTube channel. Then I made it, and I was like, oh, that was easy. And then I started uploading, and I was like, no, that's doable. I figured it out from there. Just like everything else. Oh, but I don't know how to do that is a great way to stop yourself from ever doing anything. So do the thing. Just do the thing. Julie, do the thing. And he's terrible at the thing, and it's very funny. And then, of course, we move through, and we get these guys who are excellent, and I'm not going to focus too much on them because they're just hilarious biker guys. I love that they're just yelling in Japanese because, I mean, I love Yankees and Japanese biker gangs as archetypal characters. So just insane people on bikes going, "Yah!" Is rad as hell. And he freaks. Not gonna let this happen again. Gonna go send Devistan. And apparently it gives him magical driving skills, and apparently it extends out to the thing. I get that he's just capable of reacting in super speed, and that's what we're trying to demonstrate here. That's a very cool idea. Some brutal death sequences that are rad. And I love that the two of them go kind of insane together, and they're just like, what the fuck? We get this moment as they both lay back, and she's smiling. And he's nose bleeding. And this is like another extension of the whole gurney sequence. It's another roller coaster ride that these two characters get trapped in this bubble, and they go on this roller coaster ride with bad guys after them and the goal that they have to reach. And it's a stage in their relationship development as emblematized through story and art. How cool is that? I think that's so cool. All right. Arrival, fight. The actual fight is glorious. And we do all these stage setting moments that are very Imaishi with these hold on to a solid moment. And the way we transition between them is weird and crazy. She saves his ass like 4 times. This is a fractal. Well, first off, this is golden ratio spirals in lines, but this is also a moment that's almost identical to a moment in Gurren Lagann, the fight between Viral and Kamina, the first fight between them. There's a pose that's held almost exactly like this as they're holding each other, but it's not over a person. I think there's another one in Gurren Lagann that's very much like this, where they're fighting over another person's body, and it's like they're fighting over something, over protecting something. So this is an extension of that, but in an interesting way. I love the little details, like he's got a little tiger paw on his sword sheath and stuff. It's just cool. He's got this vibro cyber katana thing. Oh, it's a rad fight. I'm not going to break down the animation because, frankly, I think it speaks for itself. The animation is pretty fucking sick. Main gets here. And the fight's already over. And this guy thinks he's got it, right? And we know that he doesn't. So he's going at him with the swords and stuff, punches him up. And so he evolves. He becomes even better. More claws, more danger. And he opens up his claw arm thing, right? Zip, zap, haha, a claw arm. Yeah, I'm totally gonna get you with this. And Main opens up his gun arm and is like, you brought a sword to a gunfight. And it's not just a gun, it's a, like, laser cannon of boom boom that just evaporates this dude. Jesus. Splat, splat, splat. And we even get the ew from the jaded Lucy. And your boy is just sitting there like, what the fuck is happening, man? And then we party. Not bad. Welcome to the crew. And then this indicates betrayal coming in the future. There's no one you can trust more than yourself. Always look out for yourself is a thing. You know, how many movies have you said where a character says that at the beginning of the movie, and then at the end of the movie, they reveal that they're the bad guy, and they're like, I told you at the beginning, you can only really trust yourself. It's like, yeah, every time, right? But we'll see. We'll see. And there's other stuff that's going on. Start using us as your crutch and you're going to be good as dead. Trust yourself instead of trusting me. Don't just become a part of the, consumed by the system, which is an individualist mentality. And then he says stuff like, eddies that make you stronger aren't wasted. And eddies that make your team stronger aren't wasted. So pay your people well, right? So what he's doing is he's running a mini business, a corporation essentially, except that instead of being a corporate suit corporation, it's humanistic and dedicated to the development of a sustainable future, right? You treat your people well so that they produce well, and then you profit more. And so you pay them a good share of the profit because that inspires them to produce more value. And that's correct. And that's well, it's kind of like syndicalism in a way. And people are going to say that that's communism, and it's not. And it's not. It's some of the ideas of communism extracted from the we must change all of the systems in order to implement communism. Because communism comes with, we must overthrow capitalism. It comes with it. You can't take them apart. You can't take them apart, unfortunately. What you can do is you can build good organizations inside the market system. And you can, individually, you can do it. If you believe in communism, build a communal business. Build a cooperative. There are legal systems in place for you to do so, and then you can compete with your communal cooperative against all the other businesses that make whatever you make. Capitalism doesn't undercut that, doesn't prevent it. Markets don't prevent that. You can do that. Just go and do it. All right, Mr. Arms, we get some good banter between them, which I think is great. Immunoblockers and your cut. We don't see exactly how much it is, but it's a lot, right? Everybody gets a fair shake. Are you still mostly organic? Save some edge, then look into upping your cyberware. And here's the danger. Temptation. Temptation, temptation. To put more inside your body, because we know that it makes you crazy. To change yourself too much makes you absurd and insane and a monster. And we see this giant, monstrous mechanical hand inside the still human hand of of our character, and it's like, there's a risk here. You don't want to up your cyberware too much, because then you become kind of corrupt like everybody else. It feels like the people in this world have put the corruption inside themselves with their cyberware. That's the idea that I get. And so I'm reticent to do that, reluctant to do so. But meat and bone can't keep pace. Fair enough. You got to upgrade. And here's the temptation. A little more chrome, and you could have zeroed that tiger claw with no problem. More power, right? We see him inject a thing as though he's like, this is just good and normal. Okay, it ain't wasted enemies if it makes you stronger. So I want to say something about that. Food, what you put in your body, might as well be cyberware because it changes your existence completely. And putting high quality food in your body is never a waste. Now, there's a point where it becomes wasteful, which is that you start buying Michelin star meals and shit. That's stupid. But good quality food is always worth the cost. High quality beef instead of grass-fed beef if you can get it, organic if you can get it, instead of shitty dollar store burger patties, do it. Chicken that's organic and phthalate free and hasn't been injected with a bunch of shit, it's worth it. Get it. And even then, just eating a meal of high protein and fat and quality things instead of eating donuts or McDonald's burgers is worth it. It makes you stronger in every way, as far as I can tell. So it's worth it. So this I agree with. And he says that applies to your cyberware, which is like your body and also your culture and your skills to some extent. And it applies to your crew. So he's like, oh, interesting. And we get this character stepping out. And he's immediately shadowed in red, powerful as hell, fascinatingly constructed. He's got 3 eyes on one side, which is an Ava thing. Yeah, the 3 eyes on one side and then 4 eyes on the other side that are 1 eye on the other side is like, that's Evangelion stuff. And it's Seal. Like, that's what it is. It's the 7 within the triangle, and he's emblematic of it. Multiple eyes to see all things. Weird. I don't know. I got nothing on this character yet, except that he's obviously extremely wealthy and very dangerous. He's the source of wealth for all these people, right? He's the one to whom they all bow. And light comes into the picture when he's there, and they need him. But he is a pissed off motherfucker who doesn't take well to not having his instructions followed. The way we do the back and forth between these two characters is very much like Kill la Kill with verticality and size being used to demonstrate power, and it immediately flips this way, where your boy, the biggest character that we know, is put way below the judgmental eyes of this man. Way below. And even here, we switch to the other side, and it's not shot reverse shot to show that he's actually above him. He's below him again. More so. Reinforced, down below. Down below, eye to eye, down below me. They can speak, and what he says is, it is my place to see the larger picture with all the eyes that I have. Yours is to do as you're told. You get no connection to the value of your work. This is how our business is done, and there is no other way. And he's pissed about it. Maine is not pleased. He wants to know what he's doing. And he thinks this is unfair. He twitches, but he holds himself together because he has to. He sublimates his anger in order to continue this relationship because it funds him and it funds the other people. And it's far more mutualistic than many of the other interactions that we get between individuals and their overlords, if you will. But it's not perfect. Not at all. I'll be in touch. See ya. And there's the middleman. He looks over at the girl. He watches her. And he watches this guy go and put his arm around her. And she just sort of sits there. Doesn't indicate in any way whether she's into it or not. But I'll guarantee that she didn't go and sleep with this guy. But that's what David is thinking. It's exactly what he's thinking about. And she is watching him watch her. And so she's already clocked it. 100%, right? Partly because, as far as I can tell, women are really good at figuring that shit out fast. But anyway, she sees it, interrupts, wants to be recognized after all we've been through, and then is immediately like, you don't get it. You're like, yeah, I get it. And then I want to see Is this carbonated? Yeah, they both are. Okay. See you around then. Bye-bye. And just waltzes off weirdly. Who the fuck are you? Okay, we get the call from here. He tells them to fuck off because he's already stepped into a difficult thing already, and so that thing's really easy. He looks over and sees that girl is gone and boy is gone and makes his assumptions. And because he's thinking about that, his shoulders droop. Oh, well, all right. And he unconsciously takes a sip of something that hurts him, even though he wouldn't otherwise. Even though he knows that it'll hurt him, he does something stupid because he's distracted. Excellent. A ton of stuff that's probably foreshadowing that I won't read until I know that it's foreshadowing, right? A ton of subtle social interactions that are really lovely. And a continuing focus on our mating pair of Boyo McBoy and Lucy the Hottie, who is so spectacularly cool and competent and sexy, and we like her very much, I think, despite her betrayal of us. So now, what's going to cause us to mend that bond more effectively? And what's going to get David to move toward what he really wants in this world? And what is going to start becoming a real enemy for us? Because we've got the bits and pieces of the enemies. Are we going to just spend some time wallowing and running around Night City doing little jobs? Or are we going to start rolling on a prime plot line immediately? Because now we've joined the crew and we need an inciting something, right? For the crew, now that the crew has been negotiated and set up. Because we had our inciting incident for David himself. It's that his mom died. And then all of the stuff that's come after it has been a result of that leads him to this point of integration with this crew and interest in this girl. And now something else has to go wrong so that our characters have to step up and do something and have something to fight against specifically. Because they're not just here to fight against chaos and corruption. There's got to be something that emblematizes that and comes after them. And maybe it'll be Tanaka or whatever, or Katsuo's dad or whatever, or Arasaka or something, or a group of particular thugs or something. And I don't know. And we'll have to wait and find out. Regardless, I think the episode was spectacular and very, very fun and very, very cool. And I'm really excited for next episode to see where we go from here. Because my predictions end here, basically. Is like, I was able to predict some of the stuff up till episode 3. He's going to become a part of this squad. And what? And what's next? I don't know. So I'm excited to find out. Thanks for watching. Thank you for bearing with my overly long rambling. I appreciate it. And I love you all, and I'll see you next week for more Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Thank you so much. Check out the Patreon if you'd like to support the channel and the content that I produce. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to Amaishi for this beautiful show that we get to observe and witness and speak about together. Get in the comments and write whatever you'd like. I'd love to argue about any of those points or discuss interesting points that people bring up. If confrontation is necessary and you want to argue, I'm down. If you want to just talk about how cool the show is and avoid any of that argument stuff, that's great too. And probably better, because that's what we're here for, is to talk about the piece of media itself. And all of the other stuff is the jumping off. And I have a tendency to go down rabbit holes, so forgive me for that. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more. Peace.